What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Now, when you talk about somebody being done, current North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson is done. Okay? He was already in an uphill battle for governor against his Democratic opponent, Josh Stein. This right here, honestly, the way I look at it, he's the biggest gift to Kamala Harris's campaign that she could have ever imagined. The biggest gift. Now, I'm going to do a pasteurized, homogenized, and shortened version of this one, YouTube. We're going to talk about this more extensively on the Patreon, because this is Patreon material. If you're talking about if there's ever a subject matter and a video that's Patreon worthy, it's this one. So Mark Robinson, who is a warped individual, to say the least, has been exposed as a tremendous hypocrite. Okay? And the evidence is overwhelming that it was him on these adult websites back in the day. I can't really go into specifics here on YouTube, but the man loves him a golden shower. And he loves niche pornography. Okay? He's a fan of it. And he's a serial adulterer. He engages in immoral acts, even with family members. And he desires to take away the rights from women, including the right to vote. And according to his past postings, he proclaimed himself a black Schickelgruber. If you don't get that reference, he wants to be a black stormtrooper. He wants to wear those nice boots. He wants to stand next to Adolf Schickelgruber. And he also appears to want to be a real-life Stephen. He wants to take this country back to the 19th century so he can be right next to Calvin Candy, competing with Stephen for the biggest Sambo on the plantation. Yeah, this dude, man, and the evidence is overwhelming. It's him. It's not even just the email, his personal email is linked to these sites. It's the fact that he, on some of these adult sites, has his real name, the ages line up to his age at the time, his years married line up. He even have his profile photo on some of them. And it's clearly him, just 150 pounds ago. That's it. About 15,000 cheeseburgers, about 700 rack of lambs, and 800 honey hot piping biscuits ago. Or 8,000, I'm talking about 800. But it's clearly him. And the Trump campaign, from what I understand, has called for him to resign. Well, not resign, to step down. But he has been very adamant that he doesn't plan on dropping out. And he using the old tactic of, this is just an attack on me by my opponents. Apparently, if my memory serves me correct from what I read and what somebody told me, it was one of his campaign staffers or advisors that leaked this information, which tends to suggest to me that he's a vile human being who they can't stand. Okay. I feel nothing for this man. Okay. And Donald Trump was out of his damn mind calling this man Martin Luther King Jr. 2.0 or Martin Luther King Jr. on steroids, whatever the hell that was supposed to mean. No, he's not. Okay. this guy has always been on the periphery. The fact that he's even the fact that he's a major party nominee to head of state shows you how far right the Republican Party has become. This is a man that denies that the atrocity in Schicklgruber's Germany during World War II even happened. And he has a Schicklgruber party fixation for some reason. Like, I don't understand some black people's fascination with Adolf Schicklgruber, because you do know that if your ass was magically transported to Schicklgruber's Germany in 1939, that your ass would be persecuted too. It wasn't just the small hats he hated. He thought that his race was better than every other race. Matter of fact, he thought his race was superior to Mussolini's. He thought his race was superior to Stalin's, to Churchill's. He thought the Schicklgruber people were the premier people on planet Earth. So I don't get these guys' obsession with Schicklgruber. Schicklgruber looked down on you too. Schicklgruber would have had you right, whatever. And I alluded to this earlier. This is going to be a gift to the Harris campaign, because this was partially leaked, I suspect, because he has some people on his campaign that are sympathetic to Stein, maybe of the same background. I just have a suspicion that's playing a part. And by doing this to Robinson, that might open the floodgates for more anti-Robinson voters to come to the polls and vote against him, which by default would be Democratic voters or voters either leaning to vote Democratic, which could swell the ranks for Kamala Harris in that state, which could tip the state in her balance. Because right now, North Carolina has moved from a lean Trump state to a toss-up since Biden dropped out. So the hope may be that with more voters coming out to vote against Robinson or for Stein, then the hope would be that would help up ballot with Kamala Harris. So, North Carolina has 16 electoral college votes, which in a very close race, as this is projected to be, could be everything. And I remember North Carolina did go Democratic back in 2008 for Barack Obama, very narrowly against John McCain. But in subsequent elections, 2012, 2016, 2020, it has gone Republican. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, tell me what you guys think, man. And by the way, just to do another mention of this, another promo, we're going to talk about this more in depth on the Patreon. So those of you who subscribe to Patreon, they'll be out later on today, perhaps even within an hour. If you're interested in signing up to the Patreon, there's a link to the Patreon and all my links link in the description box. And there should be a link in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think.